Many of these men, women and children escaped with only the clothes on their backs. Now they're among the millions in Syria and Iraq who need humanitarian assistance. The United Nations is calling it the biggest humanitarian crisis in the world today. But Baroness Emma Nicholson of the international charity MR Foundation says donors are not responding to appeals for more aid funding.
For a reason I cannot understand, I cannot explain, the world has barely shifted in its response. The big funders haven't come across, yet there are 1.4 million new refugees, IDPs inside Iraq alone, and you know what's going on in Syria. And this is spreading.
I think part of it is that there are so many emergencies right now.
Joel Charney of Interaction, an alliance of more than 180 non-governmental organizations, says donors may be facing difficult decisions on where to direct their money.
So some of it is competition or sort of donors trying to figure out, do we respond in Syria and Iraq? Do we respond in South Sudan? Do we respond in the Central African Republic? We now have the Ebola crisis.
Countries have donated large sums. U.S. aid to Iraq and Syria since 2012 has topped $1.5 billion. Saudi Arabia recently gave the UN $500 million. But Charney says it takes more than just money to alleviate the crisis.
Yes, if we had more aid, we could provide more services. But, I mean, let's face it, fundamentally, this is a crisis that can only be solved diplomatically. And the whole diplomatic process has ground to a halt.
Meanwhile, the UN is worried about the onset of winter, and humanitarian groups have been trying to find ways to raise empathy in the general public so people will donate more. So far, they say they have not succeeded. Ayesha, Tanzeem, VOA News, Washington.